MSI MEG Z390 ACE motherboard review and test. The updated arsenal of MSI motherboards is now impossible not to recognize by name. The latest Intel Z390 chipset and rich features are what hide models with a name starting with MEG. The hero of the review was MSI MEG Z390 ACE, one of the new products of the Taiwanese company with the only purpose, overclocking. Let's take a closer look at it, and then test it in conjunction with the Intel Core i9-9900K. At the bottom of the PCB, in addition to the standard power on and reboot buttons, a dimmer with fixed positions is displayed for manual overclocking of the processor without making changes to the BIOS settings. Depending on the CPU model, each position sets its own frequency. For the Core i9-9900K, the frequencies are between the i7-8700K and i7-8086K. Of course, a negative multiplier is used for AVX instructions, otherwise such impressive frequencies of 999 processors out of 1000 simply would not be mastered. But here it is worth giving a report that not every CPU will start and will work on the proposed settings. In addition, the motherboard itself significantly increases the voltage and should carefully approach the choice of CO. On the MSI MEG Z390 ACE PCB, there are several minor possibilities for solving problems that suddenly arise during overclocking. The first is the ACRE tri-jumper. A button is connected to it. While holding it, the model will try to turn on with the user's settings an infinite number of times, without discarding the changes made on the third attempt. The second is ACRE force center. When the contact closes at the first reboot, the board will send us to the BIOS. And the third is the slow mode booting and low temperature booting jumpers, which are responsible for the functions of enabling and passing post during overclocking with strongly negative temperatures. The minimum cost of the considered motherboard at the moment is 22,500 rubles. What features allow the manufacturer to set such a high cost? Of course, this is a design designed for overclocking processors with a discrete video card. Therefore, the new MSI has no video outputs, and for SSD drives there are as many as 3 M.2 slots. On-site and auxiliary functions, including post indication, LED display, acceleration dimmer, jumpers, restart, update button and reset the BIOS. In general, a whole lot, and even plenty. And a special thank you for the large number of USB ports, both on the rear panel and for output on the case. Great Wi-Fi module with BT. Convenient snaps on memory slots. A moderate amount of RGB LEDs. Add to this a clear and simple BIOS interface. Well, we smoothly turn to advantages and disadvantages. May not arrange. To disable the RGB backlight you need to install the program. It cannot be done from the BIOS. High price. M.2 are connected to the PCIe, so the top SSDs will not reach peak rating speeds. PCIe 1X slots are connected to PCIe, bandwidth is limited. There are no radiators on 2 slots M.2. The relatively high temperature of the power system with processors consume 200 W. Lack of video outputs. Pros: MSI MEG Z390 ACE. 3 PCIe 16X slots connected to the processor. 3 places for drives M.2. M.2 support both MFM and SATA. Normal latches on both sides of the DIMM. LED indication of the post. Temperature display on the post indicator. The ability to monitor the temperature of the power system. A large number of ports USB 3.1 Type A and C. High-speed USB 3.1 ports. BIOS reset and refresh buttons. Stress measurement points. It is easy to notice that some of the comments are not directly related to the motherboard, but due to the capabilities of the Intel Z390 chipset.